Late one night, a woman was getting ready to head home from work. Just as she switched off the lights, a strange figure suddenly appeared in the doorway across from her. Thinking she was seeing things, she flipped the lights back on. But oddly enough, the figure vanished the instant the room lit up. Not long after, the owner was also getting ready to leave. But before he had gone very far, a horrifying scraping sound suddenly echoed from behind him. Confused, he turned around. The sight terrified him. He immediately took off toward the exit without looking back. What he never expected was that in the blink of an eye, the figure had already caught up to him and slashed a deep, bloody gash across his leg. At the same time, the owner quickly noticed the figure's weakness. It seemed terrified of light. He immediately ran into a brightly lit storage room. Just when he thought the danger was finally over, the lights above him began to flicker before plunging the entire room into darkness. Then, without warning, a nearby door slowly swung open on its own. And then, with their father's mysterious death, this once happy family fell apart overnight. Unable to cope with the loss of her husband, the mother began acting stranger and more unsettling with each passing day. One night, Martin was getting ready for bed when he heard his mother talking to herself. Gathering his courage, he climbed out of bed and carefully made his way toward her bedroom. From the hallway, he saw her carrying on a conversation with an empty room, as if she were speaking to a close friend who was actually there. The moment she noticed her son, she immediately stopped talking and gently told him to go back to bed. Martin reluctantly obeyed and headed back to his room. But halfway there, he suddenly glanced over his shoulder. To his horror, a tall figure slowly emerged from the darkness behind his mother. Terrified, Martin sprinted back to his room as fast as he could. After living in such a suffocating environment for so long, Martin's mental state began to deteriorate. He could barely stay awake in class and constantly looked exhausted. Concerned for his well-being, his teacher immediately reached out to Martin's older sister, Rebecca. After arriving at the school, Rebecca originally planned to take Martin back to their mother. But after seeing that their mom was acting completely unhinged, she immediately changed her mind. Instead, she decided to take her brother away and let him stay with her. At first, everything seemed fairly normal. Then one night, Rebecca was suddenly awakened by a strange noise. Under the flickering glow of a neon sign outside her window, she could just make out a figure crouching in the doorway. At first, Rebecca assumed it was Martin. Unable to sleep and messing around in the apartment. Wanting to help him out, she reached for the light switch, but no matter how many times she flipped it, the light refused to turn on. That's when she started to realize something wasn't right. The figure seemed to disappear whenever the light brightened. To make sure she wasn't imagining things, Rebecca cautiously began moving closer to investigate.